Hello and welcome to the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, where Kelly's pick of the week will be Saga number 24. I'm Daniel and that is Kelly.
We don't know that yet. We haven't gotten there.
Oh, we know it.
We don't know anything to stop.
This is the podcast where we talk about the reasons we're broke, ranging from comic books, movies, TV, video games, and more. We were on a 1-week break, but we are back now. Feels like coming home.
Absolutely. And this week's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Sign up today and get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
There's over 150,000 titles to choose from, all available on your Android device, Kindle, and iPhone. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
So for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the Brocat family. How we set up our podcast is first we start out with some news, again, comic books, TV, video games, and more, and we follow up with our comic book pull list of the week, where my pick of the week may or may not be Saga. We don't know yet.
Let's not trick around with the
mystery. Mystery. You all don't know everything about me yet.
Even John on Facebook, when I put up the picture of the indie books, he said, so I know what Kelly's pick of the week's going to be.
Now, come on, you guys. This just isn't fair at all. You're all just being big meanie heads.
I think after 110 episodes, they know which is going to be your pick of the month.
Stop it. I feel so ganged up on right now.
We're going to start off with some video game news. The latest Super Smash Bros. Patch has released.
This patch includes an update that removes the Conquest chart from Conquest mode to prevent players from simply joining the winning side.
Ahead of time, you can see which side was winning and then joining. No longer the case. It balances certain characters as well for a more pleasant experience.
Now, come on, that's just not fair.
Because you want to join the winning side?
I do want to join the winning. I'm a winner.
So, balancing the characters, Little Mac. That's exactly who this is for. That fucking Little Mac that I always run into online and always lose against.
Well, you know, he's little. He's got to prove himself.
I was reading on Kotaku from pro Super Smash Bros. Players, and they said one of the worst characters in the new game, based on everything they know from playing years of Smash professionally, Falco is actually one of the worst Super Smash Bros. Characters in this game.
Aww.
And that's actually who I use. I have been winning a pretty good amount, though. If they could just patch him to make him a little bit better, maybe I can beat Little Mac.
Or maybe if they made him as good as Little Mac and Little Mac as bad as Falco, then it'll be okay.
Or go even better and make him as good as Fox in Super Smash Bros. Melee, because then, done. It's the greatest Super Smash Bros. Character ever. But that wasn't it for the Super Smash Bros. News.
Yes, we have Super Smash Bros. From Nintendo Direct. We have up to 8-player Smash, only on certain stages for the higher numbers.
So now you can play with tons of people. I don't know how the lag is going to be when you play with up to 8 players. And it obviously won't be on the same console. Maybe you can get 2 adapters and do up to 8 players, but I don't think they're actually going to support that.
That sounds like a lot of work.
I think it's mainly going to be for the Wii U when you connect that with a friend's console and you can add 4 players and all fight. But they did create like a bigger version of some existing stages, such as Battlefield. So they added extra platforms, made it much bigger, so it's way more comfortable for 8 players to fit on a stage.
That sounds very frustrating.
Yeah, this Nintendo Direct was a part of the 50 brand new things that they added in Super Smash Bros. We're just going to highlight a couple of the big ones, because some of them they included in there, and it wasn't really anything relevant. They were just like, here's this new mode, and here's this new stage, and they included each one of those things as a fact or whatever. But there is some cool stuff here. So we know that there's going to be bigger versions of existing stages to accommodate the up to 8-player Smash. There's also going to be dual stage battles. Dual stage battles, basically you can have a couple of players fighting on the front end of a stage, and there will be something like a barrel or something that'll teleport you to the back end of the stage, to the background, where you can continue fighting. So it's kind of like the 3DS version of, say, Super Mario World or Super Mario Brothers, where you can actually do that, but now they're bringing it to the Wii U and for Super Smash Brothers.
Interesting. Also, Ridley becomes a fighter if you attack him enough.
Yeah, Ridley is a boss that will appear in Super Smash Bros. Players for the longest time have been asking for Ridley to be a character in Smash, and it sort of got honored in this version because when he comes out during the boss battle, the player that attacks him the most will get him as a teammate, and he's huge. He's like the size of Giga Bowser. Pretty amazing.
My music also returns.
Customize your music for all the stages, every single one of them.
Classic mode and all-start mode with up to 2 players.
That one I love because my brother and I play all the time, and now we can do Classic and All-Star mode, both of them, and beat them all, and get both trophies as well. That's something they didn't do before.
You can now voice chat with friends, so it's just going to turn into Call of Duty, and little kids will cry.
Yeah. There's also a more accessible stage builder. You can actually draw on your Wii U tablet any of the shapes you want for your stage.
That's pretty cool. You should make a Lapras stage.
Yeah.
Just Lapras. And the final thing we're going to touch up on is free download of Mewtwo for those who buy both the Wii U and the 3DS version of Super Smash Bros. But this will not be out until spring of 2015.
So this is probably the best news out of all of this, but also the most controversial. Because when they said that you would get Mewtwo for free when you had both versions of the games and registered on Club Nintendo, they did not say how you can obtain Mewtwo if you only get the Wii U version. So people assumed that you had to get the 3DS version, spend $40 to get Mewtwo.
Money. That's how you get Mewtwo.
They're going to sell him separately.
Yes.
That's what I think.
For like $10.
Someone else was saying too, what if they have like the amiibo figurine of Mewtwo?
That'd be pretty awesome.
And then that'll unlock them. But I think they can charge, I think they can go up to $10 for Mewtwo.
Yep, absolutely. They could charge $10.
I think people would pay $10 for that.
I remember when this news came out, everybody at work was like, Mewtwo, but I gotta get both things. But I would do it for Mewtwo. I'm like, okay then, so no problems.
See, I went, you would? He was kind of a shitty character in Melee. I don't know why people want him back so much.
They know how to get in their wallets.
Hopefully they made him way better than Lucario, because Lucario was essentially a Mewtwo clone, but without the Mewtwo.
I don't like Lucario. He can just die.
If it comes between both, yeah, I'm all for Mewtwo. But you gotta have the metal suit from Pokemon the series and from the movie.
And he's gotta be all emo and angsty.
What is my purpose?
Can he do that, like, when he wins every battle?
Yeah, what is the point?
I love it.
Staying on the video game news, we got Bayonetta 2.
Yep, you picked it up this week. You're playing through the first one, correct?
Yes, this is a Wii U exclusive that comes with Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 all in one package.
Perfect. Great deal. It comes with some great costumes.
Yeah, Nintendo exclusive costumes for the first and second Bayonetta. Obviously, Bayonetta 2 is exclusive to the Wii U for now. I can see them bringing it out on PS4 and Xbox One. When I bought it, actually, the GameStop guy says, this is the best game of this year that no one's going to play.
Wow.
And at that time, he hadn't sold any copies. Like, just my pre-order pickup.
That's
it's
crazy.
It's insane. But it is actually selling pretty well overseas. So that's one thing. In Japan, I don't think it's sold as well, and it's not selling too well in North America. But from what he was telling me, Europe is doing pretty well in sales for Bayonetta 2, which is great because it is... I'm only playing the first one so far because I want to get the entire story. And Bayonetta 1 is amazing. It's a lot of fun. It's very active, very bright, crazy over the top, and I love it. And they're saying Bayonetta 2 builds upon all of the good things from the first one. So I'm like, how much better can this actually get? Like, she's running at people with, like, her legs spread and, like, killing them, shooting them from, like, her fucking crotch.
No wonder you like this game. It's such a boys' game.
You were laughing too, though.
I was. It was pretty silly with her gun feet. I think the Mega 64 video made me laugh more, though.
Yeah, I agree.
My hair is a demon.
But she, like, spanks enemies, and she's like, you've been a bad boy. And I was like, yeah, he's been a bad boy. Cut his head off. But I think the Game Trailer's review said it best, and they said that it's not like exploiting of a character for just the sex aspect. It's actually a tool, a weapon. She doesn't succumb to anyone. She actually uses all of that to eventually, like, tear them in half with a chainsaw and all kinds of crazy shit. It's a blast. Definitely check it out. If you have a Wii U and you don't have Bayonetta 2, definitely pick it up. If you want the cheaper version, if you just want to play Bayonetta 2, you can actually get the digital version at a cheaper price. So you don't have to pay the $60 for both games. I think it's $40 or $30 for just Bayonetta 2.
So for all of you listening, it may be Sunday or Monday or sometime in the week, but for us, it's Halloween. And that means...
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, Halloween.
You're so excited. We're all amped up on candy and booze. So really spooky night. We have some spooky stories for you.
We do. even though we took the break, we still took the time to actually find some Halloween spooky stories.
Yes, spooky, and you're going to make me read these, and then I'm going to be scared. Can I just say, okay, little spooky story of my own. So, I was trying to find these spooky stories yesterday, because I was like, this is really great, we really should read some spooky stories. And of course, I was home alone, and of course, I decided to do the laundry, and for whatever reason, the door to the laundry place started to close by itself, but I didn't know that. All I heard was the creak, and I thought it was the stairs, and there was nobody home, and I'm like, shit, I'm dead. Somebody broke into my house, and I'm dead. And I wouldn't even fight it. I'd be like, you know what, I'm done. So that was my spooky story of yesterday, trying to find this for you listeners.
Well, now the listeners are going to be just as scared as you were, because these stories are pretty creepy.
Probably not. They're going to be like, Kelly, you sound more freaked out than I am. And I'll be like, stop it, it's true.
And if you hear the doorbell go off, that is probably a trick-or-treater. We're going to ignore it.
No, just don't even, no. That would scare me. Be like, he's here. Okay, so this one's real freaky. It's a little long, so just a moment. This is creepy things that kids say. Kids are creepy mofos, man.
Yeah, they are.
Creepy mofos. So, I was headed to the bathroom on the second floor of my aunt's house when I saw my cousin, April, on the stairs. April was 4 and very animated. She was busy making funny faces while sitting on the stairs. I asked her what she was doing. She says, I'm copying the lady with the braid. I looked around and there was no one but us. I asked April, what is the lady doing? She said, making funny faces. I smiled and started walking up the stairs again when April said something that stopped me in my tracks. Her braid is around her neck. I turned back and asked April to repeat herself. April pointed. The lady is hanging by her braid, and she's making funny faces. Then April started making faces, which I realized it was someone gasping for air. I have goosebumps. Why do you make me read these? That's spooky.
Not scary.
I'd be
not
like,
real.
Get out of my house, kid. We're done. 4, you're living on your own.
I would Batman her and elbow to the face. Take her to Arkham because she's clearly insane.
Real creepy. So here's another one. I watched a few kids while their parents were at a movie. I put the youngest kid, age 4, to sleep and watched TV till the parents came home. The next day, the parents called. According to the 4-year-old, I stood in the doorway and stared at him for a very long time, smiling. I was so confused I didn't know what to say. I have goosebumps again.
Not real.
No, it's super spooky. That kid was probably trying to get her fired. Oh, this one's real freaky. This is why I'm never having children, because they do and say things like this. I was cuddling my friend's 3-year-old son, and he said, very seriously, I promise I won't ever chew on your bones. I promise.
Oh, the silly things kids say.
The creepy things. Why would you even think that?
They'd be like, silly baby, you know nothing of the world. You're not Killer Croc. Bitch, please.
No, spooky. Never. Children, never.
So that was your scary Halloween stories for this year.
They're real spooky, Dan, okay?
If they were spooky, let her know on Twitter at ReasonsI'mBroke.
I get easily spookied. I'm sorry.
And that's our happy Halloween for the listeners out there and for the Brokettes. You know what that was a lot like? It was a lot like listening to an audiobook. Audiobook Nerd Up Media. Head on over to audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. With that, we can transition into the other spooky thing. The TV show that is DC Comics, Constantine, had its premiere.
Yes.
Now, we all know Kelly does not like Constantine at all.
Nope.
Hates the character. Every time he pops up in comics, usually in a main DC thing that we're obviously have to pick up because it's connected to something we're reading, she's like, fuck Constantine, he can die, etc. How was the show, Kelly?
Didn't suck too bad.
Didn't suck too bad.
Wasn't horrible.
Did you like it?
I wasn't bad. Stop it, okay? Yes, I liked it.
Did you like it more than The Flash?
Yes.
Did you like it more than Gotham?
No.
But you liked it more than The Flash. Something Constantine related. Starring Constantine was awesome.
No, starring this man who is playing Constantine was awesome. I did, but you can never hold this over my head.
I already did.
You have to promise. This is never held over my head.
No, that's not happening.
Then I'm not giving my review on it.
Oh, you are. So this one was the pilot, is the one we saw. Mm-hmm. This has the other female lead that actually won't be in the rest of the show. They ended up recasting her. Good or bad choice?
Good.
Why is that?
Because Constantine totally outacted her. She was just so much less in the show than he was. Less committed, less believable.
Less interested.
Yes. I'm glad she's gone. See you later, bye.
Yeah, Constantine, I felt like he carried the entire show. Mm-hmm. His performance was awesome. I've read some Hellblazer books. We've obviously read some Constantine because of Justice League Dark and every other crossover like Forever Evil. And he nailed the character. I thought he did great. He didn't have the smoking, though, which was a big problem with a lot of readers. He had, the little Zippo he kept playing with. Mm-hmm. Did that distract you at all?
No. I wasn't distracted by it. I was more freaked out because there were a lot of spooky things in that show. And as we've just discovered, I do not like spooky things. Especially little kids talking spooky things. I don't like spooky people with their heads twisting around. Not part of that life. Nope.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Because of The Exorcist.
Yes.
Scariest movie.
Yes. No, well, nah.
Okay, now I'm the baby.
Well, that was only because you built up The Exorcist so much. You kept telling me, it's the spookiest thing you'll ever see. And I thought, it's not really that spooky.
It's not. She's not young enough to freak me out because only kids scare you.
They say freaky shit, man.
That's not as scary as the head churning and
no, they sit there and they're like, the lady's got braids around her neck. Mm.
That's not braids, silly kid.
That's
a
rope.
Fucking noose. You've been on Haunted Mansion, right?
Who's hung in the Haunted Mansion? The picture.
If you look up at the top, there's that hanging. Yeah,
spooky man. Anyway, moving back to Constantine. Mm-hmm. So, freaky things in Constantine.
Yeah, I thought the special effects were awesome. Mm-hmm. The exorcisms were great. The story itself, it's setting up Constantine to be like this. Just the first story alone. He's haunted by the death of this young girl, someone he couldn't save, and that is used against him in the episode, and it's very effective. I immediately connected with Constantine from this first pilot. Mm-hmm. I really can't wait to see the second one, because if this is just a pilot, once they recast that weaker part of the show, which was the female lead, I forgot her name, but see, that's how forgettable she was. Good thing they recast her.
Dr. Fate's daughter.
They wanted someone stronger to complement Constantine, which is a great idea, mm-hmm. and I really, really can't wait to see that second episode.
Agreed. I loved all the Easter eggs we saw in this first one, too. You had Dr. Fate's helmet. You had the Trinity, Pandora's
box,
freaky, 3 diamonds triangle thing. That's its name now. That should be the name of the show.
What member of Justice League Dark do you want to see make a guest appearance in the Constantine?
I don't know. That's tricky for me. Because, okay, we talk about this every time that we go into this, which is part of the reason I don't like Constantine. I don't like DC mixing with magic. It bothers me, and I don't know why. With this particular show, I don't really feel like it's magic within DC. Does that make sense? Maybe it's just because I don't like Constantine, so I don't really follow him.
It's because you don't see him mixed with, say, Superman or Batman. Instead, it's his own world that they build in Constantine.
Okay, yes. Yes, that works. I like that. Good. You analyze me so well. But you still don't know my pick of the week.
Well, my Justice League Dark member would be Swamp Thing.
That would be pretty cool. I think I would like to see Zatanna because I think they can work her in there really well. I just hope they don't make her feel like she's part of Batman's world. Because then I'll have an issue with that.
So will the CW because they can't cross that over with Gotham.
There we go. Boom. Done.
So we highly recommend it. We really liked it. Check out Constantine if you haven't yet. It is up on Hulu.
Keeping with some DC news, Young Justice Invasion will be getting a Blu-ray release on November 18th. This includes a behind-the-scenes featurette and commentary tracks.
Yeah, those commentary tracks are brand new, recorded just for this Blu-ray release. And honestly, a lot of times they'll see how the sales of the Blu-rays do before they talk about even returning a show or making a new one. I'm not saying that if this does well, they'll bring back another season of Young Justice Invasion.
They're not going to. Let's all cry a little bit and just accept the facts.
I don't know.
This won't be like Kingdom Hearts, where they'll drag us on for 10 years and then go, well, here's another one. This isn't coming back. I really wish it would because I loved this show so much. It's not coming back. Supposedly Starfire was supposed to be in the next season.
Mm-hmm.
Not there. So sad.
No Nightwing and Starfire love for you.
They could have been in love. Would have been
Too
perfect.
bad.
Perfect.
So we're going to pick up Justice Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Really liked it. If you haven't seen it yet, it is up on Netflix.
Totally worth it. Just binge watch it, guys.
Now, to satisfy the Marvel listeners out there, 2 pieces of news that were huge. The first one being Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. The teaser trailer leaked and then was officially released by Marvel.
They went, oh man, we gotta put this up now. Did Conroy leak it?
I hope so.
Because that would just make my day. Like, how do you have this, Conroy? Everyone's just giving him things now. Does he meet these people in a bar? He's like, you can trust me with your secrets.
Yeah. So something I do want to talk about with the release. Another podcast on the Nerd Up Media Network, Those Two Jerks, they covered this perfectly. And I want to tell you about it because I don't think you've heard about it yet. But when the teaser leaked and then Marvel officially released it, Marvel, Disney, whoever, they said, oh, Hail Hydra got us again. And Rick and Tom from Those Two Jerks podcast, they were talking about how genius that was of Disney to be like, instead of just being like, okay, we're not going to release the official trailer or let's just release it, they made it into a Hydra thing based on their own movies, obviously, where Captain America, Age of Ultron, all of that.
I just gotta say, Disney don't have money for no reason. Yes, they're smart.
So, they were saying, yeah, go ahead.
That is brilliant. That's very smart. Good for them. Because now people are going, Hydra.
They would have done that regardless, because no matter what Marvel does is obviously the right thing, because if DC does it like Marvel, it's wrong because DC did it.
Yeah.
Longtime listeners know that, well, we're going to touch up on it. Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. We saw the teaser. What'd you think?
It's more, I have, except for Captain America's, I have not been satisfied with Marvel movies.
Longtime listeners know I did not like the Avengers. And it doesn't help that we play it at the comic shop constantly on Netflix. It only makes me see the shitty things in it even more. But you know what? There's been better Marvel movies since the Avengers. That was widely considered the best one thus far. I wouldn't say best superhero movie. I think most people can still say that The Dark Knight is. Mm-hmm. Although right now maybe Captain America 2 for a lot of people. I think Captain America 1 was the best Marvel movie so far. But when people are going to ask me, and they ask me all the time at the comic shop, why aren't you as excited for Avengers 2? The Avengers 1 was amazing. Here's the thing. I can't be excited for something that I really didn't like. Mm-hmm. I really didn't like Avengers 1, so why would I be excited for Avengers 2? Ultron, okay. Like, you know, everyone knows I don't read too much Marvel. We read tons of DC because of Batman. Like, maybe if Ultron took off the helmet and it was Batman underneath, and that was his contingency plan against the Avengers, like, that would be amazing. That'd be cool. Like, then you'd have me, like, on day one. But otherwise, I mean, it was a really good teaser. It got people excited. That's all you need to do. That was the main purpose to this teaser. Mm-hmm. And people keep talking about how it used that string song from Pinocchio. People are raving about that.
That was spooky. They sang it real spooky.
Because it was a little kid singing it.
Yeah,
a little kid from your spooky stories.
I told you kids. It was probably that same one who thought the lady was just smiling at him.
What if Ultron was just one of those spooky little kids? Would it be a better movie then?
No, because it'd be spooky. We've established no spooky things. I don't spooky no.
So in the trailer we did see Quicksilver. Mm-hmm. Very different, obviously, from the one in the Fox X-Men movies. And we saw the Scarlet Witch. Yep,
excited to see both of those in this movie, but that's about all I'm excited for.
In my head, I'm still like, related to Magneto.
Yep. Related to Magneto from X-Men First Class. Not necessarily Days of Future Past, because that one wasn't as good, but First Class was real good.
So good on them. It'll probably make billions again.
Oh,
and,
of course.
You know, I guess that's all that matters.
People will say, why can't DC do things like this? They only rely on Batman. Which I had an argument with somebody about this later. We'll talk about it in a bit.
The thing about these movies is no matter what I think about them, even if they really aren't good movies, they're making money, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. A lot of people are enjoying them, and they're coming back for them. Same thing with the Transformers movies. People bitch about the Transformers, like 4 movies now, but they keep coming out to see them.
I know, but they're not that good.
Well, exactly. That's the exact same parallel. Except with tons more money. Tons more money involved. And more movies.
So, Marvel... following on DC's heels, because come on, DC's awesome.
Well, they completely took off the thunder from DC's announcement.
They did.
DC might as well have not announced anything because this is what everyone's talking about.
Marvel released their own slate of films and release dates.
Business move. Business move. Like, I can't blame them for it. Like, even I have to admire the cunning of that.
They're like, okay, they released it. Let's go.
And it was lose-lose, because if DC released theirs after this, it would have still paled in comparison, I feel like.
Because everybody, I don't know.
Because they're more familiar with these movies.
Well, I get that. I get the thing that frustrates me, okay, and this is, again, the argument. Going back to the argument I had earlier today. DC released their whole lineup, but I feel like nobody really paid attention to it. Because I was talking to somebody, and they said, Marvel lineup looks great. All DC has is Batman. And I'm like, and Cyborg, and Green Lantern, and Aquaman. Oh, they're coming out with those too? Like, did you not pay attention?
And those are the small ones. There's Wonder Woman, 2 Justice League movies.
Right, there's a Flash movie. Like, did nobody pay attention? They complain that they don't do anything but Batman. But if it's not Batman, they don't pay attention. And that was exactly my argument. But I digress. I was real upset today.
So here we're going to run down with the movies and the dates for Marvel's slate of movies. It's up to 2019, not up to 2020.
Oof.
So let's see what we have first. This is going to be the first one that's the same year as not only Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, but also Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. We have Captain America 3, Civil War. This is slated for May 6, 2016.
Long rumored that it was going to be Civil War, and we talked about the rumors that it was going to be the year of superheroes fighting one another, and it looks like that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
People think that at the end of Avengers 2, the team is going to end up split due to some kind of, probably the Superhero Registration Act, which will lead into Civil War, which will lead into Captain America hopefully punching Iron Man in the fucking face.
And then Batman pulling off Ultron's mask.
And punching them both in the face.
With his feet. So I wanted this not to have been what it originally was. And then when they saw online that that's what everybody wanted, they're like, hurry, write this fast. Get this done. Really excited for this, though.
Yeah.
If they do it right, it's a great story.
We like the first 2 Captain America movies, and we've said before, it will probably work out better even without the X-Men.
Mm-hmm. After that, we have Doctor Strange, which is November 4th, 2016.
Big rumor right now is Cumberpatch is just waiting to be confirmed and released.
Everybody loves Cumberpatch.
And that's why this movie will make millions.
With the ladies.
There's a lot of guys that like him too.
A whole lot of ladies are going to go see him, though.
A lot of guy ladies too.
And lady guys.
So I think it'll make money. We've already
Oh, of course.
People have started calling for the Doctor Strange books, and not as much as, actually we're that one's later on in the list, but the next one is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Set to release May 5th, 2017.
I liked the first one. Wasn't that bad. Hopefully they build on this with the second one. Give Jolly Green Lady some more personality.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. This is not even her name. What was her name? Gamora.
Fedora. Yeah, I think it was Gamora. I think you got it. So, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Jolly Green Lady.
She-Hulk, like I said from the very beginning.
Okay, I'm sorry. She-Hulk.
It'll have a bigger budget. The writer started writing the sequel the day it released. He seemed really excited. He had a story. Plug it in. Hopefully it'll be better than the first one, and we like the first one.
Is Groot gonna be back?
Of course he'll be back. Yes. He's got too much merchandise to sell.
I want him to be standing there holding all his merchandise like, I am Groot. He needs to have a pimp hat on, some ladies, and some chains.
Yep.
Good for him.
Next is Thor Ragnarok. We're set to release July 28th, same year, 2017.
Isn't that what those kids climbed in that one TV show and the things fell on them?
Oh, you're thinking of Guts? Was it Guts?
Yes, it was Guts.
On Nickelodeon?
Didn't they climb the Ragnarok?
Probably.
Is that what Thor's going to climb? Because this will be a really great movie.
Yeah, this will be my favorite of the three if he's in Guts. Along with the other Marvel heroes. And
they need to go to Legends of the Hidden Temple, too. Because that would be real awesome.
I didn't like the last two Thors, so I don't know much to say about it.
But you know what? Loki's going to be in it. It'll make money. If they put Loki and Cumberbatch in it, it'll make even more
Forget
money.
about it, yeah.
It's over.
Another one of the original ones. So first we had Doctor Strange. Next is actually the Black Panther. Set to release November 3rd, 2017. We do have a casting announcement. That was Chadwick Boseman will play T'Challa.
I don't know a lot about Black Panther, but it seems like it'll be a good character, a good story.
That'll be one of two black superheroes that will have their own film, the other one being Cyborg.
And Green Lantern.
Hopefully Green Lantern.
And
Hopefully
Green
it's
Lantern.
Jon Stewart.
I'm going to Batman somebody in the face if it's not Jon Stewart.
Someone at Warner Brothers.
And Marvel. Both of them. Why not? Just, why stop there? Everyone I see will get a Batman in the face.
So Chadwick, I've seen him in the number 42. And then also, he was also at James Brown in the latest James Brown movie.
I know none of those movies.
He did all right. He's a pretty strong actor. When it comes to drama, he can really nail it. So, I mean, with Black Panther, let's see what they do with him.
After that, we have Captain Marvel, July 6th, 2018.
The only one of these movies that has a female lead in it, DC's, is Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Some people were saying, why not Black Widow? We've already established her in a couple of movies.
Because she's pregnant.
Well, she was pregnant during Avengers 2, from what I understand.
Well, yes, she was. Do you hear what they did to her stomach? Green screened it.
What else are you going to do?
Let her be pregnant. It's Cap's kid. Whatever. Let's go with it. They kind of developed a romance, but not really.
Pretty exciting. Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I didn't like Thor. I didn't like the Iron Man movies and Avengers, but it seems like they're getting better with Captain America and Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's on an upswing.
Hopefully. After that, we have Inhumans, November 2nd, 2018.
Another team superhero movie.
I don't know what this is.
It is success because customers are already coming in and saying, look, I don't know who the Inhumans are, but I want to learn more about them. Where's the Inhuman
Good for
book?
Marvel. They're real smart.
They've got this. Like, that's the thing. Like, people are already, like, it can be whatever superhero they want, and people will be there trying to find shit on them.
They have Disney.
That was the key, wasn't it?
That was the key. That is, like, the holy grail of all of this is Disney.
Here's our playbook to success now that we own you.
Here's what Disney did. You ready? They are so smart. So smart, Disney. So little girls go to the parks, and they see all the little girl costumes, and they go, I want to be this princess. And the little boys would be sitting over there like, I don't get a costume. But now they have one. Done. Fan for life. So they're not only appealing to the people they got now, in 10 years when those little boys can actually buy stuff for themselves, done.
Longtime listener Dark Knight Drew calls it Marvel dick writing. This is Disney dick writing. That's as apparent as it is right here.
They're so smart. Like, for reals.
I think we can all admit that. The final two movies are Avengers Infinity War, Part 1 and Part 2, split between May 2018 and May 2019.
I don't know what this is either, but I'm sure people are buying it.
It's the big fight with Thanos.
Oh.
He now has the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm sure the Guardians of the Galaxy will be in this movie, maybe even the Inhumans.
Bring everybody in.
Captain Marvel, Black Panther, everyone.
Can we have Doc Ock Spider-Man in there?
No Spidey yet.
I
say yet.
We need Doc Ock Spider-Man. We need X-Men First Class people. And you can go ahead and throw Hugh Jackman in there just because he's cool. He's Hugh Jackman. Throw Batman in there. Perfect movie. Done. I just wrote it right there, guys. Come on.
So another example, people were ragging on Warner Brothers for splitting Justice League, doing Justice League 1 and then Justice League 2, even though they never said those two were connected as one giant story. Just one is the first movie, the other is the sequel. But when Marvel does it, man, they're geniuses and they're awesome
golden.
And they're so cool and
they will learn someday.
I just think it's funny. And obviously I'm a DC fanboy. There's no question about it. And maybe new listeners are like, fuck this guy, like I like Marvel. Of course you do. Everyone likes Marvel, and that's fine, but...
They're like, I'm not listening anymore.
But stick with us. I mean, that Halloween story was pretty good, right?
Was real, you're making fun of my Halloween story. It was real
I'm not
spooky.
making fun of it.
I got some goosebumps, and I'm not going to be able to sleep.
There you go. And occasionally we talk about Pokemon, so I know you guys someone out there likes Pokemon. Stay on this. Because we've got more Marvel news. You like Marvel, right? We've got some more coming up right here. This is comic book news. Marvel comic news.
Why don't you throw in strong female characters and we'll just lose all of them. We'll just lose them all.
No, this is awesome, actually. Marvel has teased that the Ultimate Universe will come to an end in summer 2015 with the arrival of a book titled The End #1. So this is, the third time we think the Ultimate Universe is going to go?
But it never really goes.
As of February of next year, Miles Morales' Ultimate Spider-Man will be the only Ultimates book Marvel is publishing.
It's a great book, though.
I think this means Miles will come to the 616 universe.
Good, I approve. Because Miles is a great Spider-Man.
He's an awesome Spider-Man, the best thing to come out of the Ultimate Universe. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he makes it on the big screen one day. Who knows?
Oh, that would be great.
I would love it.
Can Batman be in that movie, too?
Batman can be in every movie.
Okay.
We also have some Marvel solicitations for 2015 January.
Yep. She-Hulk, all new Ultimates, and all new X-Factor will get their final issues in January.
So we got 3 cancellations, one of which affects us, that being She-Hulk.
Yeah, such a good book. I'm so sad to see it go.
Yeah, it is something we're reading, and we've said this before, like I'm trying to be as neutral about the book cancellation as I can. The She-Hulk fan in me says, fuck, why? It's such a good book. But then I realize people weren't buying it. That's why shit gets canceled. Buy it. If you don't, it's gone. And it's true. At my comic shop, we only had a couple copies hit the wall, and those never sold.
Buy like 50 more, and then maybe they'll keep making it.
It's too late now. That shit is canceled.
Oh, it was so good, though. If you guys didn't pick it up, go out there and pick it up. Great story.
Yeah, the first trade is out now. I think it's $14 or $16.99, and it's a really fun story. Mm-hmm.
They've also solicited Star Wars #1, written by Jason Aaron.
Jason Aaron is huge for Marvel right now, especially in the indie publishers, and we now have the first of the number of many Star Wars books that they're going to be coming out with. The one we're actually waiting for is Princess Leia. Mm-hmm. It's illustrated by Terry Dodson, one of my favorite comic book artists. So Star Wars, I'll probably read when it comes out on trade. I'm not as big as Star Wars. I'm more of a Star Trek guy. They're both great. I like them both, but just one, I kind of lean towards one more than the other.
Because one has Jean-Luc Picard.
Exactly. And fucking maple syrup. What's his name? #1. John Riker.
Yes.
Riker, yeah.
There you go. Riker.
Maple syrup. What? He gained like 20 pounds by season 2.
Yes. And then there was that one episode when stuff was leaking from the wall. That's how we named him.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he had gained a lot of weight. And the stuff was leaking from the wall, and it looked like syrup, and he was real interested in it.
He kept looking at it, and I'm like, that's actually his stash of syrup. He just doesn't want the rest of the crew to know.
That's why he gained so much weight. He's just eating maple syrup.
Just put that syrup down, Riker. Jeez. We have enough to worry about here. The next one, this is actually a Marvel book that will be replacing She-Hulk, at least for us, because we're going to be picking it up and subscribing to it. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #1, written by Ryan North, who's doing Adventure Time.
Mm-hmm. This sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I love Ryan North. When he gets on Adventure Time, it's always amazing.
The look of the book is very light. We love that. Mm-hmm. We're at least going to give it a couple of issues, but I'm sure it's going to be an awesome, awesome comic.
Absolutely. So, now that we're done with Marvel solicitations, we can move into the DC solicitations. First up, and my favorite part of all of this, the Flash variants. So these variants will recreate classic and recent covers with the Flash changing them.
These are fucking hilarious.
Amazing.
Go on newsarama.com. You can see them all. Every month DC has a new theme for what variants they're going to be doing. Last month, or actually for October, it was the monster variants in theme with Halloween. Mm-hmm. We got the Lego variants coming up this month. After that, it's a Darwin Cook variants. We're getting a bunch of these, by the way. And now the Flash ones. Love them. My personal favorite one is actually the Harley Quinn Flash variant, because Bruce Timm came back and he redid the cover to Mad Love, but with Flash pushing Batman and punching Joker in the stomach or in the crotch. I'm not sure.
So amazing.
And then running in front of Harley, just blocking the whole shot.
So amazing. Mad Love is probably one of my favorite comics. It's in my top 5. And then I love the cover to it, and for him to come back and recreate it all with Flash, fantastic.
It's an iconic cover also. Everyone knows that cover. The big heart, Harley holding the gun, and then the Joker and Batman on either side. You see it on t-shirts, you see it on wallets, you see it on posters, you see it on reprinted comic books.
Because it's amazing.
Well done, Bruce Timm. I'm glad it was him and not someone else that just tried to do a recreation of it. I'm sure it cost him a lot.
He was like, nah, this is mine.
Yeah.
Nobody's recreating that.
So one that someone else did too, it was after Neil Adams. The first appearance of Jon Stewart, where he's on the cover holding Hal Jordan, who's knocked out. And instead it's the Flash running right by him, and they're both distracted, like looking at the Flash.
That's amazing.
I love that one too.
These are really funny, guys. Go ahead and check it out. You can let us know on Twitter @ReasonsI'mBroke which cover is your favorite.
Next in the DC solicitation list we have here, Batman Eternal number 42. We're going to be picking up this issue because it is the official debut of Bluebird, Harper Row.
Yes, cannot wait. I love the glimpses that we've got of her character. Can't wait to see the full thing.
Her first appearance as Bluebird is actually in Batman number 28, if I remember correctly. It was the first part of the Batman Eternal series.
We also have Batman and Robin number 38. This is the return of Damian with superpowers?
We don't know. Is this a true solicitation? Is it actually what's going to happen? I'm not sure, but what's the cover have?
It's Damian ripping off his shirt, Superman style, with bullets bouncing off of him.
Yeah, and he's got the Robin suit underneath. Awesome. If this is true, I'm really glad Damian's back. I still don't think he'll be Robin. But he's back in some way, shape, or form, which we all knew he would be because of Robin Rises. I didn't think he was going to come back the way he normally is, and that's why I'm still skeptical about this. I think the story that Tomasi is building is more than just like he's back and he's got superpowers. I think he's going to be vastly different, changed, darker, not his son anymore. But we could be wrong. Either way, the solicitation is very exciting.
And finally, another amazing piece of news. Batman the Animated Series figures. So they have announced Robin. Awesome. The Creeper.
Your favorite?
No. What? What? You think you know me.
Who do you like more, Constantine or the Creeper? This is the question I want the answer to.
Okay, well, let's just not talk about this anymore. So we have Harley Quinn. Awesome. Can't wait. I have her original figure still in the box. Now I can have her new figure also in the box. And then I can open them and they'll be worthless. And we have Killer Croc and Baby Doll. Amazing.
If you remember season 4, they teamed them both up. It was like a romantic relationship, too.
Yeah, that was a great... Well, it was romantic for Croc, but not so much for Baby Doll.
No, it was the other way around. Yeah.
Oh, now it's even better.
Because remember, Croc met the other girl and Baby Doll got jealous.
Oh, that's right.
Because the other girl was actually older and had a normal body.
Aww.
Yeah, Baby Doll was an original creation for the animated series, and they did some awesome stuff with her. I'm just kind of sad it never caught on and made it into the comics, because she could have been like the other great creations from the animated series, like Renee Montoya or Harley Quinn. Maybe one day we'll see her re-debut or something in the comics. And that'll do it for the Marvel and DC solicitations for January. We got one more thing we want to cover before we jump into our sponsorship and the comics for this week. Batman Little Gotham by Dustin Nguyen came in, finally.
Yes! I'm so excited. Like, this is like the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It is amazing. He's still chilling up there in his box, but we're gonna go on picnics soon.
So we knew the figurines were going to be about 3.5 inches. It's actually pretty, like, they made him so wide because it's the Dustin Nguyen style. I think it's actually now worth the, $15 that they're charging for it.
It was always worth the money. Don't give me this now worth. It was always worth the money. Give Dustin Nguyen whatever he wants. Just hand over your paychecks. That's fine.
So we were either going to do an unboxing for this one or one of the upcoming Lil Gotham figurines. We haven't decided yet what we're going to do, but I do want to say a couple of things. You didn't take a look at the other copies, but The Batman figurines for Little Gotham, not all of them looked the same. The quality wasn't quite there across the board. I actually had to look at a number of them and be like, which one do I want to go with? Because one of them had like some black paint on his face. The other one had some white discoloration on his knee. The one we have has a little bit of discoloration on there and on his belt. And his head's actually churned, which I'm like, how did that happen as they were packaging him?
Because he's Batman.
He's more aware than the other figurines.
Something was going on in the factory, so he turned to look. And it wasn't, like, really anything he needed to be concerned about, so.
So that's why he's cool. He stayed in his package.
Yeah.
But it is awesome. Like, we're really happy with it overall. Like, I think they nailed that watercolor look to it. We'll have a full review when we do an unboxing either for this one or one of the other figurines.
And he's got a grapple hand.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Grapple Hand Batman. We're going to take pictures of Kelli with Lil Batman, and we're going to travel around with Lil Batman.
He and I are planning a cruise later this year. It's going to be a lot of it. We're going to be like Batman and Catwoman from Little Gotham.
You're recreating Dustin Nguyen's story.
Yes. Oh, man, this is going to be great.
Yeah, and these pictures are going up on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, everywhere.
So that will do it for our news this week. But before we move into our comic book pool list, we would like to leave you with our recommendation for a free Audible audiobook.
After you're done listening to our podcast or one of the many other podcasts on nerdupmedia.com, head on over to audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia, find yourself an audiobook, and get to listening. One of the recommendations we have for this week, we'll have another one next week, but this is The Ultimate History of Video Games, from Pong to Pokemon.
That is the best title ever. The Ultimate History of Video Games reveals everything you ever wanted to know and more about the unforgettable games that changed the world, the visionaries who made them, and the fanatics who played them.
You call yourself a gamer? Get this audiobook. Learn everything you can about the history of video games. If you're as old as me, you remember Pac-Man, you remember Galaga. If you're as old as Kelli, you remember Pokemon Snap.
I'm not that much younger than you. I don't know why you think I'm from this like different world.
Normally this audiobook is $29.95, absolutely free with your trial when you sign up at audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. You can get to listening. You don't have to worry about, well, I got it for free now and later on they're going to bill me $30 for that free audiobook. No, you get this audiobook for free. If you're after your trial you're done, no problem. You still get to keep your free audiobook.
For all you brokettes who head over to that link, you will get a free audiobook download of your choice along with a 30-day free trial. Again, that's audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia.
Now we can move on to our comics from this week, but first, one of the books that a couple of listeners out there actually, this was the common one they wanted us all to touch up on, because I did ask all of the brokettes out there, from this list of books that we got, which one do you want us to cover? And actually a couple of people all went straight to this one trade. This was Red Sonja, trade number 2, Art of Blood and Fire, written by Gail Simone, art by Walter Giovanni.
This is real interesting because I feel like we've covered this all before, but they still want to hear what they thought.
I'm thinking they want to see how the story is as a whole now that it is complete, all in one book, no longer a monthly wait. How does the second story of Red Sonja from Gail Simone stand up to in comparison to the first one we had? To give you a quick rundown of the summary, Red Sonja is gathering all of the greatest artists, cooks, dancers from the kingdom, one of each, to have this giant party for this Egyptian king who is about to die. So he wants to have the best party before he dies. In return, he will free all of his slaves.
I loved this arc. For me, the first arc was amazing. I think I liked the second arc a little bit better. Especially as a whole, where you could read it all the way through. You see a lot of change in Sonja, whereas the first arc, I felt like we saw all that change at the end. You see this change throughout the entire thing. Every artist that she meets, she learns something new about herself or how to overcome a weakness in herself. And that's amazing to see her go through this all with these people and then come full circle at the end where they've changed too because of her.
I'm really happy Gail Simone is back on the book, or is on for another contract, because coming up is actually Conan versus Red Sonja. It's in this month's solicitation for previews. Head to your local comic book shop, pick up a previews booklet. It's a heavy-ass book for $4.95, and you get the books, the action figures, the t-shirts, all of the shit that's coming out in January and beyond. That book is on there, and we cannot wait.
I have one comment on that book. Bow chicka wow wow.
I hope Conan and Red Sonja get it on.
It's gonna happen. It will absolutely happen. Or she's gonna be like, you smell.
And then that would be so funny.
Be fantastic.
Too stinky for even stinky Red Sonja. So thank you so much, Brokettes, I hope that was... If you want to know more about the trade, just get on us on Twitter at ReasonsI'mBroke.
Can I give an honorable mention from last week, though?
Yeah.
Bee and Puppy Cat, man. Bee and Puppy Cat. Read that first story. It's the story of my life. That's right there. Coffee and me.
Caffeine, yeah.
Done. Story of my life. I'm sipping coffee right now, man.
If you're a fan of Bee and Puppy Cat, that trailer did come out for the new season that premieres in about a week.
If you're not a fan of Bee and Puppy Cat, why not? Why?
Related to Bee and Puppy Cat, same network, same creators, it's going to be Adventure Time number 33. This is written by Ryan North, who we said earlier is doing Squirrel Girl, and art by Shelley Paroline and Braden Lamb.
I really, really liked this issue. We're still going on with the Nemoid, the Nematode, the Squid Brain.
The Memory Stealer. Yep.
Yes. And he is stealing memories, and Finn is jumping through time, and we're seeing how he's dealing with all these changes, and they catch you up really quickly, and then there's a battle, and then the ending is great for me. I'm like, yes, he did it again!
He doesn't remember anything that happened during that time period, and he's the only one that can put an end to a catastrophe that's about to happen in that time period. That is the joke, that is the humor in this book. It's really good. Lots of dialogue, great art. You get your dollar's worth for $3.99.
Absolutely. Do you feel like they're pulling in the Avatar world just a little bit?
A tiny bit with the different kingdoms. I'm more happy with the fact that they put the Princess Bubblegum and Marceline Kingdom together. And in this book, even more, they're like, yeah, they're a couple. They're gay.
You can pretty much, you can tell. Especially with the ending. Oh, no! I can't wait. Cannot wait for next month. This arc they have going on is great. I love all the time skips, because even as soon as he wakes up and he goes, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, no! Like, I am concerned for him. It's fantastic.
And I want more Ice King, and I want to know what happens to Ice King in the future.
And his lady, Beth.
Especially with Ryan North writing, because he's the guy that did that Ice King story.
That was such a great story.
So yes, continue. Love Adventure Time.
Next up, we have Adventure Time Banana Guard Academy. This is number 4 of 6. It's written by Kent Osborne and Dylan Haggerty, with art by Madeline Rupert, and colorist is Whitney Kogar.
Mad Rupert. Love that name.
Madeline Rupert.
Oh, she credited Mad Rupert here, though.
Oh, okay. Mad Rupert. She's real mad.
So in this one, they're trying to get rid of the head banana guard, the guy that's in charge of who is actually going to be in the academy, and the guy that's actually been giving them a ton of shit in the last couple of issues, putting them through some intensive training, trying to really break the group up, break their spirit. But when you do that, what happens? The group rallies up and they try to get rid of you. And that's exactly what happens here. There's actually a lot of politics at work here, because even in between them, there's disagreements. There's just so much to play with, and these characters are not really huge in the show, but they're becoming bigger than some of the ones they have on the show for me. Because they're taking the time on this comic and building up this, like one of them is the gingerbread guy, and the bowl of punch character. I forgot his name, but that guy's the shit.
Punchy is really awesome, and Mr. Muto Bread is the gingerbread. Yes, and it's great that I can remember their names, like Muscle Cupcakes. That's not his name, but it should be.
It should be. Almost as good as the Adventure Time number 33. I think this one might be my favorite one thus far, right behind the Ice King one where they went to his resort.
It was very good. The thing that I liked most about this book, though, is it tied into the show. Did you catch that?
That one went over my head.
Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna spoil it, but not really for you guys. So they're trying to throw this guy off of being their captain or whatever. And Bubblegum's like, okay, that's fine, throw him off. Lemon Black is going to be your captain. And then they're like, oh, well, no thanks. Well, then we find out later that Lemon Black's not going to be captain because Lemon Hope showed up and they said something about him blowing up and Lemon White was in his stomach. That's from the show. You remember that episode?
I remember now.
And then I just thought of that Lemon Hope song, and I got real sad inside.
Poor Lemon Hope.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it went.
Too high on dope.
What?
That's not, no, that wasn't.
That was definitely not it. But that was a great episode. You guys should go catch it. But I'm very glad that they tied that in there.
Next one on our kids' books is actually Cartoon Network Super Secret Crisis War number 5 of 6, written by Louise Simonson and art by Derek Charm.
This one is actually my pass of the week.
Same here.
We agreed. So that means we'll agree on our pick of the week, right?
Oh, of course. Of course we will.
Always. Always. So yes, my pass of the week, I felt like they started out with something really strong and they've just kind of let go of it.
Here's the problem. They started dragging their feet on it. Mm-hmm. What happened in the last 2 issues that you needed to have 2 issues for it to expand on?
0 things.
One thing is you have Mojo Jojo, who's starting to switch sides, and then you have the heroes defeating the robots. Mm-hmm. You could have done that in 1 issue. Instead, they did it in 2 and put in too much action. I'm sorry, but that's just, it's way too expanded. You could have done this series in 4 issues, possibly 3. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going to happen in number 6, but it obviously can't. Obviously, not much is going to happen because if this has happened in each one so far.
Right, I totally agree. I feel like it's become less about everybody teaming up and more about, look at the evil things we're doing. I don't care about your evil things.
I will say the good thing about all of this is that after this arc is over, we're going to get that brand new Powerpuff comic book, which is actually going to be sort of like Powerpuff Girls and Friends, because they're actually going to have Johnny Bravo in that book. You're going to have Cow and Chicken in that book.
Because you're very impressionable, and you'll run around the house going, hoo-ha-hoo.
Well, I feel like this was built just so that they can have those characters in that universe with the Powerpuff Girls. Whatever happens at the end of this will allow for that to happen. Unfortunately, we needed this for it to happen, and unfortunately, it's been that long. But I'm looking at the positive side of this.
Okay, fine. Powerpuff Girls and Johnny Bravo will be okay. But you better not be running around hoo-ha-hooing things.
I will, and I'll point to the sky with my one hand and flex.
And then you gotta comb your hair.
I do.
So yes, both of our pass of the week.
Next is Kelly's Pick of the Week, Saga number 24, written by Brian K. Vaughan and art by Fiona Staples, who is also Kelly's Artist of the Week.
Think you know me. All you listeners and you Dan person, you think you know who I am, but you don't.
And the writer is also your Writer of the Week.
No, we said we agreed on the same Pick of the Week.
Well, I was being sarcastic because this is actually not my pick of the week.
We had, and I never said that it was my pick of the week. We're gonna have a fight. Do I have to Batman you right now?
I don't see why we're doing the song and dance. We're just preventing the inevitable of you saying, "Fine, it was my pick of the week."
Let's just talk about Saga, okay? Let's just talk about Saga number 24. So we get a new character. We go back and learn about the will.
Wasn't that awesome? How we have this new character,
and we get to see a cool little seal man. I really like that.
And we found out what happened to Will.
And there was a walrus.
And we have a cool little seal man.
A walrus cow. The seal man was in overalls.
Can you believe the walrus cow? Wasn't that cool?
That was a real rad thing. Obviously, we've had a time jump, which I forgot about, but I didn't feel lost with that time jump.
Lion Cat.
Lion Cat was pretty awesome. And that red dog. Good boy. Red dog.
So once again, Saga does the thing of introducing a new character that we care about from the get-go, and she is actually related to one of the other characters that they've built up in the previous couple of arcs.
Mm-hmm. In the very back, we have the top 10 costumes that were sent into them. Those were so much fun, and it was a very good book.
It was a solid title.
it was
adequate.
Adequate. Not enough people pick up this book. You should definitely pick it up.
Just like Batman. More people should pick up Batman.
Yes. It was very good. I don't think enough people know about this book. More should. Tell your friends. And it was my pick of the week. Okay. Stop laughing at me. You're all bullies.
We all called it. All the Burkettes out there called it.
Stop. Rick from Those Two Jerks even called it.
He came into the shop and he was like, "So your pick of the week came out."
You all think one day it's not going to be my pick of the week, and then what are you guys going to do?
We're not going to believe you, because then you'd be lying.
Well, then get Lion Cat in here, and he'll tell you the
yeah,
truth.
so he'll be like, lying. It's Kelly's pick of the week.
It's okay. I say it all the time, and you all know what I'm going to say, so say it with me. It's always as good as the last book. How can it not be my pick of the week when it's always good or better than the last one? Like, you can't not tell these people that they can't be my pick of the week when they continue to impress me.
When we were reviewing Saga number 23, you were wondering whatever happened to the will.
And then
I'm curious as to what happened to the will.
They did give it to me.
And as soon as I saw the will pop up in the book, and I'm like, there is no way this is not Kelly's pick of the... She probably liked this more than number 23.
I did like it a lot. But 23 had fighting.
Angst.
And I do love my angst. But in this one, we got that little seal man in overalls.
He was pretty cool.
And we got the Will, who's having weirdo dreams, man. I don't want to go to...
Weirdo sexy dreams.
Yeah, but she was...
No, it's spider sex.
I felt very uncomfortable. But it was still my pick of the week. I mean... so next up, we have...
Yes, the DC books.
It was my pick of the week, though. I did not let you guys down. You
met our expectations.
Yes. Maybe I even exceeded them a little bit.
If you exceeded their expectations, leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes and on Stitcher, because we need the ratings.
Absolutely, we do.
DC Comics.
Yes, Harley Quinn Annual #1. This is written by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, with art by John Timms, Japin Sejic. You give me these names all the time. Joe Quinones, Ben Caldwell, and Kelly Jones, and colorist is Paul Mounts, Rico Renzi, and Michelle Madsen.
This is the Robin Smell Annual. This is the one that came in technically 4 different covers. The book is $5.99, comes with a ton of extra pages, and does it have the smells? Yes, it does.
Now, you said 4 different covers. How many of those covers did we purchase?
Because I'm an insane man, we got 3 covers.
And totally worth it, I feel.
Of course it was totally worth it. Here's the thing. This book comes in like a sealed polybag thing. It was smart of them to do this because working in retail, I didn't want people to open the book up and start like rubbing. Mm-hmm. They would actually be scratching because they're used to the scratch and sniff, and then damaging the books. So we'd have to keep an eye on these comics and make sure people weren't opening them or damaging them just to smell them. We'd probably have to have like a sniff copy, which would be a loss right there, 1 book down, just so that people can read it or, find the gimmick in smelling it. But they're all sealed, and we got the international version and the regular version. Difference being that one comes with the cannabis marijuana smell and the other one comes with a pine tree smell. In certain countries they can't have the cannabis smell or maybe even the cannabis, the marijuana leaf on the cover, so they made this other version which they substituted for the pine smell. On top of that, so we got 2 different versions already. On top of that, there's a variant. So you got the main cover, and then you have the bombshell variant,
which is
done
amazing,
by Aunt Lucia. It's Harley Quinn in her bombshell outfit, which we actually did we got the statue and we did an unboxing that you can check out on YouTube. And it's her jumping out of an airplane with her tongue sticking out, and it's adorable. I love the variant. I actually like that one more than the Amanda Connor cover. But like I said, we got both of them.
She is in her bombshell costume in the comic also.
Yes, they worked it in there.
It was so great. I thought that was amazing. Story itself I thought was really cute. A lot of Harley Ivy in there.
People liked Harley Ivy, including myself, and they gave us that in Harley Quinn #1.
They gave you a whole lot of Harley Ivy. I will say the thing I did not like about this book. You only got like 3 smells in it.
I agree. They did cut that. There's only maybe 6 times in the book that you actually have the rub and smell sample thing in there. 2 of the smells were probably repeated, I think. I don't know if this was to keep the costs down.
I think all of them were repeated.
Because we had the pizza smell twice. You have the oil thing.
Her in leather twice. You have her lotion twice. And you have the Christmas tree twice.
And then the pizza. Okay, so 4 smells twice.
Yes.
So that was a little disappointing. Again, I don't know if it was to keep costs down, but at the end of the day, how was the story? gimmick aside, a lot of fun. This goes right back to that number 0 issue. When they're high, it switches over to like a brand new artist. I think that was actually the Japon Sajek artist, who I hope does the rest of these fucking books, because that art is light and fun and fits the story more than the regular artist. Chad Hardin, I believe is his name, who does the Harley Quinn book. So let's get that back. Let's get that light tone to it. If you're a fan of Harley and Ivy, that's in here. Remember, it's not the first time they've done this, that they've played around with the idea. If you can find it, check out the trade, Harley and Ivy. They hit each other on the ass with their towels naked. Like, this isn't the first time they've done
They do.
Harley and Ivy.
I loved Ivy's hallucination, though, because Swamp Thing was in there.
Yes.
And they were going to get it on, too, and I approved of that.
And that was actually the artist I was just saying. Yeah, that should be the entire series.
Yep. It was great. This story was a whole lot of fun. Like we said, I wish there were more smells in there. Even when they were talking about throwing poop. Throw a poop smell in there. I don't care. That would have been fun.
Speak for yourself.
I totally would have gone for a poop smell. But, yes, a lot of fun. Definitely rub and sniff. You guys don't have to scratch very hard.
Or at all. Just rub.
Yeah. Rub it very lightly. And works just fine.
And yes, that joke is in there with a character about rubbing the book. Like I told Jimmy Palmiotti, though, he was like, hey, you get a lot of rub and sniff tomorrow. And I was like, normally I rub and sniff the Harley books anyway, but now it'll feel special. He enjoyed it. I think he retweeted it. Love you, Jimmy. You're the best. Always retweeting what I tweet. On to some Justice League United fun. Justice League United Annual number 1. Written by Jeff Lemire, art by Neil Edwards, and colors by Jeremy Cox.
I felt this was just a filler issue.
Legion of Superheroes really dragged it down for me.
Yes, because I don't really care about them. That wannabe Superboy, like, I don't, you're impulsive, and I don't like that.
This book is still essential, though, because it continues in the next Justice League United comic. It's not a standalone story per se, because this is part 1, or what happens next with the young alien boy that Martian Manhunter has become the unofficial parental guardian of. The whole origin's here.
Ultra, that's his name.
Yep.
And I do really like Ultra. And if what they say is going to happen happens, I'm going to be really sad. Because I like him a lot. And this Bith guy just needs to die.
Yeah, Ultra is essentially like DC's Galactus, because he just consumes everything.
That's
universes.
What I was when they were talking about it. I'm like, this is just Galactus. What are you doing? This is why people say you take things.
They take stuff from each other all the time.
I know.
But Martian Manhunter, I felt that was the heart of the book. You also get to see exactly what's going on with Hawkman. Is he really dead? Is he coming back? What happened? But that was the main draw for me, was Martian Manhunter so protective of Ultra, and he's immediately like, nothing is going to harm him. I don't care what happens in the future. I'm going to punch you in the face if you try to kill him. Which I thought was great, because Martian Manhunter is not someone you fuck with.
Mm-hmm. I did like Brainiac from the future with his long golden hair. It's like, are you trying to be pretty?
He is. He's trying to track Supergirl, like in Justice League Unlimited.
Oh, that was a good one.
Fell in love with Brainiac.
Yeah, that was a great story. Overall, it was a filler comic. Yeah, it was essential. It wasn't terrible.
Not our pass of the week.
Nope. And finally, we have Sinestro number 6, Godhead Act 1, Part 6. This is written by Cullen Bunn, with art by Dale Eaglesham and Martin Coccolo, and colorist is Jason Wright. So Sinestro's trying to get it on with this lady.
He immediately falls for someone, and I wasn't jealous at all.
I don't think he really fell for her so much as he sees that if he seduces her, she can be an asset. Because she's like, where's this lady, this manly lady who's destroying things?
Because Sinestro's daughter's like, you sound like you're more interested in courting her than fighting her. And he just looks at her like, I will court her, yes.
She will be your new mother. What?
He even gets on Lisa, and he's like, where is she, Lisa? And she's the girl. She's the one who actually brought Sinestro his powers back, and probably likes Sinestro as well. So I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of drama here. Let's see what happens. But the important part is it connects into Godhead. Does that make the book weaker? We are not reading Godhead at all. This is part 6 of Act 1 of Godhead.
I don't think it made it weaker at all. I didn't feel lost because I felt like they explained it very well. Sinestro was great. Like, he was the best part of this book, of course, just with his own and you get to see how ruthless he is.
Yes.
Which was so much fun.
If you remember, Sinestro's core is complete. It's grown way more than it has ever been because he wasn't in control of it, so everyone got a yellow ring. We come to find out exactly what Sinestro thinks of that.
Sinestro leaves and it turns into Oprah. You get a yellow ring and you get a yellow ring. Yellow rings for everyone. Sinestro does not like Oprah.
He does not. So in spite of this, with Sinestro number 7, there's already some stuff that got set up in this issue, even though, again, it is a part of a bigger arc. But it does answer a lot of questions. It starts to really shape what he is trying to actually do for his team and how he is actually getting it back into shape and tighten it back up.
It's great. I feel like this is so realistic. Because of Jeff Johns' run, we know where Sinestro is going to end up. But it's wonderful to see this journey, knowing that that's where it's going to end.
Well, no, this is all after everything that happened. This is all in current continuity.
I'm talking about way at the end.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
With a little Sinestro hand.
Yes.
Come on.
All right.
Forgot about Sinestro hand, which didn't really exist.
I can never forget about little Sinestro
in my
hand.
mind. Where he's like, over there. This book. My pages are burned.
Still trying to find the ladies. So that will do it for our comics for this week and the podcast.
Just to reiterate, both of our passes of the week were Cartoon Network Super Secret Crisis War number 5 of 6.
My pick of the week was Harley Quinn Annual number 1.
He means Saga number 24. And my pick of the week was also Saga number 24. Look at that, Dan! Wonderful! We both had the same pick because the book is so good. I don't know why this isn't your pick more, for reals. Does the book ever let you down?
No, it does not.
Then it should always be your pick, because it never lets you down. And I pick someone who never lets me down, Dan.
We want to once again thank our sponsors, Audible. Get your free trial at audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. Also, Nerd Up Media Network. We have a lot of great shows on there. Podcasts, Let's Plays, blogs. Check it all out. If you like our show, you'll like some of the other shows on there. Once again, that's nerdupmedia.com.
Thank you, Brokettes, so much for listening. We love doing this show for you, and we love hearing from you even more. So if you have anything to say to us, head over to Twitter, @ReasonsI'mBroke. Leave us a comment. We'll read it on the podcast next week.
Little mini announcement as well. T-shirts.
Yes.
Brokettes out there may want some T-shirts. We are actually in the process of putting together a little shop through nerdupmedia.com so you guys can purchase Nerd Up Media T-shirts.
Amazing.
Logo looks awesome. Working with the T-shirt guy right now, hammering down the details, and once we do, hopefully we'll have an official debut announcement next week.
But that will do it for us this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Daniel.
And try not to be too spooky on this Halloween. We'll see you next week.
Happy Halloween.